as I see the colors of your soul, and I recognize every single line, every single roadblock. We are two hearts that beat in time, and the tide was looking down all night, blocking out the sun that we need. Maybe we can change our stripes and colors. You're the only one I see. And I take it all or nothing at all, driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night. And I take it all or nothing at all, driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Look into my past and I count the numbers of the dreams that I left behind. I don't even care now that I've discovered a new kind of peace of mind. Up above us, looking down on us, there's an angel I know. We don't need to worry or discuss much. It's time for me to hit the road. I'll take it all or nothing at all, driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Take it all or nothing at all, driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night. And I take it all or nothing at all, driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you've lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing, standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. Under peach yellow skies, dreaming big and aiming high. Name the clouds passing by, wishing we run away.
All we need is our passports, baby. Leave the rest in our troubled minds. Let us go down in laughter, baby. Trying to figure out what we're after.
We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. Book a plane, fly away. We will never be the same. And as long as you are mine, come on and run away. We wanna run away.
We don't need any reasons, baby. Leave it all for the faded hearts. I don't mind if they call us crazy, 'cause they don't understand what we're after.
We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. We're no kids no more. I need to feel alive in this dreadful town. I'm running out of time, and as long as you're mine, I wanna run away. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after.
chatting. I just step up and make it happen. It's a lifestyle. Living young and restless, yeah, we quite wild. If I want it, I'ma get it talking right now. And I ain't got no regrets, it's my time now. Lights out when you see us talking moves. You don't know that's the topic. And if you talking juice, well then you know I got it. Then you know I got it. Nobody got it like you know. They can try, but can't do it like Vinny. Yeah, no permission. I got it.
then I'll take it. Yeah, reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. I know it's alright, it's alright. Heavens are the limit now. Let's fight just one more night, one more night. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out.
love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
La sensation d'être prêt. Déjà prêt, toujours prêt. Prêt? Prêt à se lever, à prendre son courage à deux mains et...
Croire dur comme fer.
Aujourd'hui, c'est ton jour.
Mon premier jour d'école.
Prêt à relever le défi.
Ça, j'y arrive.
Prêt pour la prochaine étape. Pour de nouveaux projets et pour les possibilités d'un monde connecté.
C'est pour ça qu'avec nos clients, on ne parle pas que de technique. On leur dit aussi ce qu'elle leur apporte.
Parce que nous sommes là-haut,
Jusqu'aux villages les plus reculés,
à tous les niveaux et tout en bas. Pour que la Suisse soit prête. Pour que vous soyez prêts. Prêts pour la vie.
Came from the darkest regions, wrapped in a cloak of light. Minus a focus heights, I'm trying to get my opens right. Throw my doubts aside, I climb the mountainside. And when I reach the peak, the view I see will not be fly. Feel the pressure, but it's relative to the man I mentioned. No time for hesitation, finally time to step up. And when you're feeling deep in your bones and it's on you're fed up, you're close to the glass ceiling, keep your head up. See your dreams as a goal, that's how I'm seeing mine. Achieve my full potential, let go of the demons pre my shine.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Well, hello there, and welcome to another night here in the Swisscom Hero League powered by ESL, with yet another night full of League of Legends action. And when there's League, one man cannot be far And that is my dear colleague for tonight. In Chef, good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well. I'm happy to be back. First evening for me this season. For you, it's already the second evening. It was already exciting to watch you yesterday, and I'm happy to see some exciting League of Legends also today.
Yeah, we decided to switch it up here on the cast desk. So we also have some representative from the Romandy community on the League of Legends set, as we have quite a few Romo teams actually. I think it's 4 and 4 even from like German speaking part and the Romandy. We have Fragbox, we have Noetic, we have Lausanne, we have Xamax.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's about it. And then the other 4 teams are from the German-speaking part. So a Röstigrabe in the season 4 here for the Swisscom Heroleague, and we're certainly curious who will make it to the finals. But before we can determine that, we of course first need to have a look at the quarterfinals that will take place tonight, and that will be on stream here, the duel between Lostic and Xamax Esports, and then off stream we have the match between Lausanne Sports Esports and Fragbox Gaming.
Yeah, today a lot of these Roman teams are playing, and I'm excited to see how Lostic and Xamax are gonna match up today. And yeah, I'm super excited to see what today will bring us.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can also have a quick look here at the full roster to also recapture a little bit what we had yesterday on stream. For those of you who missed it, there we had the matches between Noetic Frost and Sparks Esports Meet for You live on stream, which Noetic took in a convincing 2-0 over their opposition. And then off stream we had Seven Blades Esports against Team Happy Feet. They're also a 2-0 victory for the Seven Blades here. So fingers crossed for some closer matches tonight. Maybe we can go the full distance. Yeah, it could be. Like I tweeted it out before. It could be a one-sided one, but we could also be looking at a potential upset here, as the lineup of Xamax, which we'll see in a minute here, is of course a newly formed one, and it's also like a new organization on the scene here of Swiss esports.
Yeah, Lostic is not new as an organization, but also the team is quite new. It has a lot of names we already know, but not exactly in this composition. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how they are gonna perform together too.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course the match between Lausanne Esports and Fragbox will be updating you about this as soon as we know more there, whenever they finish their first and also second game, ideally if that ends before we are done here for the night. Otherwise, you can always follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and of course Twitter at ESL Swiss to catch up with any of the results, and of course also any further matches that will be taking place. Yeah, tonight will also already be the last play day for this week at the very least, but next week we have even more playoff action, as on Monday we have some Clash Royale, on Tuesday we have more League of Legends, then on Wednesday CSGO, and on Friday even more League, and then we have all our finalists. And one of them here might be Lostic or it might be Xamax, and those two will be facing off against each other to kick off the night.
Yeah, I mean, the winner of this game is already in the semifinals, and so they are just one series away from, or I mean, at the moment they are 2 series away from the finals. But I think we should now have a look at the teams.
Yes, why don't you take us through the first lineup we got here coming up, and that is the one of Lostic.
In the top lane, we have Drawfan. In the jungle, we have Kivako. In the mid lane, we have Arctius. In the bot lane, we have Novalis, and in the and together with Xanilos. But I
think
not
this is
quite
actually the
sure.
Xamax roster.
Yeah, I think it's the Xamax roster.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's not the Lostic roster.
Let's see if we can do some production magic here. If I snap my fingers, that they change over the logo in time.
Yeah.
There we go. Beautiful.
So that's the side of Xamax. I'm very excited to see what they will bring us. I haven't really seen anything from any of these players yet, but I'm excited to see what they will bring us today.
Yeah, but they have really nice names, I gotta say. Like Arctarius. That will certainly be a tongue twister here for us. And yeah, let's see if we'll be able to talk after game number 1, but also like Novalis quite a bit. As now we are having a look at the roster that Lostic will be bringing to the table here, and that is Rash in the top lane, Hedon in the jungle, Golden God, who will be playing mid lane, and then Punchy together with Looney or Luna in the bottom lane there. So also there, quite a stacked roster here. Golden God actually currently the highest ELO player in Switzerland, closing in on that 1000 LP challenger mark there, which is quite impressive in and of itself. And Luna, of course, closely behind him. He's usually known as an AD carry player, but well, I think people know these days that he's actually also a pretty gifted mid laner.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure a very good performing player from Switzerland. I mean, he's the highest ELO of all Swiss players, at least we know about. And we don't really have many challenger players from Switzerland, so that's quite impressive.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, purely based on like solo queue ranking, Lostic has the upper hand here. But of course, I mean, with some good preparation and coordination, and I don't know about the coaching stuff in the background for Xamax, you can of course also make a dent even in a roster with such experienced players here, especially in a meta that we're in right now, which is so heavily relying on these well, big impact kind of picks. We see a lot of Lucian being played in the mid lane, for example.
Yeah.
We see a lot of aggressive junglers like the Evelyn, like the Graves, the Hecarim, of course, and the Lilia, as well as Nidalee in some regions.
Or even the Cartus.
Yeah, or the Cartus we saw yesterday. That was pretty disgusting. And yeah, they still, they of course can have such a big impact. And if you have if you have a big lead, as that Carthus had yesterday, a game can turn pretty quickly, as we're all about hashtag justice for Xamax here tonight. So let's see if they can actually hold up to the hype or all the support they have gotten on social media. I mean, they are being streamed, so they got the chance here to shine live. And yeah, we'll be looking forward to what will be some intense games, hopefully.
Yeah. One point from what you said is really important, I think, with the Lucian mid lane that's grown quite popular, and with Golden God mid lane, who's a well-known AD carry player. That's maybe one of the reasons why he went also to that mid lane, because, I mean, that's quite a strong pick right now. You can also blind pick him here really early, because you can flex Lucian around, which is really a great thing to have in a pick and ban phase. So I think that's quite a big pick to watch out, the Lucian mid. And Lucian mid also opens up all the AP carry jungler in Evelyn, Lilia, Nidalee, Karthus that you all already called out. So I think that's really something that can be very, very good for Lostic. And we are already ready for the first draft here.
Little teaser, and now there we go with the first ban here coming out from Lostic, which is quite interesting here in the Warwick. Xamax, they're going for that Shen ban right away. Shen, who's gained so much popularity over the past few weeks, he only received like a small buff, but just with these kind of aggressive carry junglers where you can really go for those invades, those kind of global ultimates have such a high impact, as we've seen TF rising up first, we've seen Karthus to some extent, a lot of Gangplank in the top lane, who matches also fairly well into that Shen. We saw, especially in the LEC playoffs, some quite nice showings of that. But then again, like the Shen, he can of course have these high impact stand Uniteds when he's suddenly showing up in the bot lane or coming out of nowhere when he's being carried by like an invisible Evelyn, of course.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also gotten way more flexible. Shen can be picked in the top lane, in the jungle, or in the support position. So flex picks are still very, very strong, and we see already the Shen and the Lucian banned out from the side of Xamax. So these are two very strong flex picks already banned out, and Lostic is banning not the most conventional bans, but Warwick, Poppy and Nautilus will be the bans from Lostic side.
Yes, I mean, Poppy, I feel like she's kind of creeping back in a little bit. We saw her being played in jungle yesterday, actually. She can be quite good, especially into some high mobility picks, like for example an Akali or also the Lucian even. With her steadfast presence, she can just hinder those dashes and limit a lot of that mobility, as we see the Thresh as a first pick coming out there for the side of Lostic. That will most likely go over to Luna. I haven't seen Thresh being flexed so far.
No, I haven't also seen. I mean, Thresh isn't really fixed in that support position, but Xamax is picking up the Akali and the Elise. Akali still a flex pick for mid lane and top lane, and the Elise, I mean, she's a very strong early game jungler, but falls off in the late game.
She's basically the opposite of what we're starting to see most recently. It's like, I want to like end the game or like get on the path of ending the game at like level 2 and 3, and after that it will just get slow, not immediately, but like gradually worse. And yeah, the Hecarim that is being picked by the side of Lostic here is about the opposite. While he's very rather weak on his first clear, or he just goes quite low and can be punished in that sense, but he has some very nice clear speed, of course. But then just ramps up, and if he gets to that Trinity Force fast, he's just becoming such a menace. And there we also have the Orianna coming out here for the hands of Golden God. And yeah, I don't think people need an explanation for Orianna these days. We've seen her so much being picked over the years. She's, in my opinion, one of the most well-balanced champions actually that League has, and she's always like competitively viable. Actually, similar to Thresh in a certain sense.
Yeah. What I think is interesting, the last pick from Xamax is Ashe, and Ashe has a quite high presence up until now in our league, and also a quite good matchup in into many AD carries.
Yep.
The Caitlyn is now banned out from Xamax side. They don't want to play Ashe into Caitlyn, even though that's not the worst matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think it's an interesting approach to this draft that Lostic took here. We oftentimes see bot lane plus jungle being picked for first rotation, and usually you save that mid laner for later, just in case that your opposition, even on red side, does opt in for a blind pick and you have a potential counter. But they seem to have a lot of priority on that Orianna, and they're like, okay, we still got all the like strongest or most popular AD carries still open in like between Ashe, Caitlyn, Senna and Jhin, I'd argue, and to some extent Kalista. Everything of that is still open, so they're like, okay, it's fine. We're fine with Xamax picking up any of those as long as we get our priority picks in that Hecarim and the Orianna here by the looks of it, and then they will just opt for whatever is left, which I'm guessing is going to be the Jhin here probably, or no, actually the Kalista I think would be the better choice here, possibly together with the Thresh, because that is such a safe combo.
Yeah, but I mean the Jhin is also very good with his curtain call. He can follow up any engage from Hecarim from a range, from a safe distance, and
should have stuck with my first instinct.
I think it fits the composition better, so the Hecarim can dive in, the Orianna can also with her ball on Hecarim support him, and the Jhin can also support that engage with the curtain call. So that's a lot of support Hecarim gets, and that's very important when you pick Hecarim, because if he has no...
Okay! Let's go.
That's a Lulu solo lane.
That's a Lulu top lane actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've seen that actually. We've seen that come in more and more actually. In I think it was in Korea that it started to be played. Just the Lulu with I think Airy, summon Airy. That is just basically a bully lane, which can be really safe. And then top lane in the current meta doesn't have the biggest of impacts, to be honest, and with the Lulu you just have additional artificial HP essentially between those shields and the wild growth of course, but also like the pixie damage can help out quite a bit, and of course that silence especially into something like a Rakan who tries to engage and then just gets turned into a cupcake. That can be quite impactful, of course.
Yeah, I really like the draft from Lostic. If they can get their Hecarim somewhat ahead, he will be so hard to kill and will deal so much damage.
He will not die.
Yeah,
he
has Orianna shield and he has the Lulu shield, and he will not even take real damage.
Yeah,
pretty
and
much.
he'll have about 300 billion movement speed.
Yeah.
On top of that.
So if I think the Akali pick, if she can't get strong and get to the backline and can't kill this Orianna, this Lulu, and this Jhin somehow, they can't really do anything when the Hecarim engages.
Yeah.
And he will just get shielded up and kill everyone.
Yeah. Plus it will also be very hard for the Akali to even access that backline, as of course anyone she's targeting, which is most likely going to be the Jhin, will just be shielded up, and then she's turned into a cupcake, and he can also be wild growth, and then it's like, okay, just wait out the shroud, and then then just kill her.
Yeah.
And Akali usually is quite squishy, as we see a last second swap there by Arcturius over to that summoner spell Teleport. He had the ignite on earlier, but probably learned from the from Merok's Akali, which we saw last night, that can just be punished, especially in the mid to late game when it's all about those big objectives, and when you're down a TP in those situations, it can be quite punishing.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting to see how this is gonna play out. I think that the top side with that Lulu and the top lane can be punished with this Elise pick. Elise is quite a good diver already at level 3 because of her repel. She can swap the tower aggro, and Lulu in the early game is still quite squishy, so I think that should be the main target for Kiwako, to go to that top lane and deny a little bit this Lulu.
Yep.
But I mean, and then from level 6 onwards, both these bot lanes have quite some engage, and I think it's gonna be very explosive around the level 6 from these bot laners.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I'm not quite convinced yet, but I'm happy to be proven otherwise, is like Xamax's just overall attempt to the draft, as they opt for that Ornn last pick there. Yes, Ornn is a very good top laner, but he will have an incredibly bad time against the Lulu, because there's just nothing he's going to be able to do, and she will just be poked down over and over. Plus then he's like the embodiment of a late game tank. He will become unkillable essentially in that late game, as we're heading onto Summoner's Rift here. MVP Shopkeeper coming in. Actually a lot of losses being due to that guy. but don't tell anyone. First, it's going to be an infernal dragon here, actually, and look at our beautiful and beloved map here as our spectators treat us with this shot. But what I was about to say here is like Ornn, he's such a good like late game insurance with those Ornn upgrades coming into those late game fights, especially like he provides you with a lot of additional HP. But then into something like this Lulu, he will just like he will have trouble getting there, while the side lane pressure here for Lostic will not be the best outside of the Orianna. It will just not be easy for him to get enough XP to get to those upgrades. And with the Elise, you are basically kind of pigeonholed into having early game impact and going for some early engages and fights.
Yeah, we see both teams starting, both junglers starting on their bottom side. Both junglers are going up to this top lane. And I think that's, yeah, Elise, as I said, I think she should be targeting that Lulu top lane. And what you said about Ornn, yeah, sure, he can be bullied around, but Ornn is quite a resilient top laner, and he can withhold pretty much of the pressure, and as long as he gains some XP, he is very useful. With the Call of the Forge God, he has always a super good engage tool, and obviously with the ornaments, he always brings a lot to a game.
I did only just realize that they actually swapped it around, that the Resh is on the Thresh, pun intended, as Luna actually decided to take the Lulu to the top lane there, so they're not afraid to go for their comfort picks here, as Kivako is already pathing towards the mid lane as he's done both his buffs. Will be possibly looking for an invade here, and actually gets to bully Hedon away from his blue buff momentarily here.
Yeah, but I don't think he really can go for it. His mid lane has no pressure, but now he is going in on Goldie. Now there is a 2v2. Arctarius is also following with the Shuriken Flip. Kivako is flashing out. That's first blood. Arctarius is still trying to fight for his life, but he surely will also go down. Or is he gonna go down? He's very, very low. Hedon wants to dive that, but he decides otherwise, and that's the first blood for Lostic.
My mind's telling me no. The horse wants the sugar cube. It's like the carrot there that is dangling in front of his face, but this time he will not get it. A lot of summoner spells also being burned, as Kivako as well as as Goldie and Arctarius all burn their flashes here, and with the Hecarim's Ghost being on a lot shorter cooldown, he of course has an advantage, as he will happily take away these Raptors here from the Elise, and now he's already to quite a comfortable lead here on that Hecarim, and that is exactly the position you don't want to be in, especially when you're playing that Elise. You don't want to go for these 2v2 fights usually, but instead go for aggressive dives or engages with your solo laners or even the bottom lane. But if the enemy jungler is there as well, you're usually having a bad time, because you really need that repel to get back to safety, and then outside of that, Elise is just pretty squishy and has quite high cooldowns.
Oh, nice hook there, and the Rash is going in, but that's all the action we are gonna get from this bot lane. Both teams can't really full engage each other in that state until level 6. I think that will stay pretty much that way.
Yep, Looney here up in the top lane has pushed in the wave here, will be looking to catch that wave once it has pushed back to his side of the map here. Will be recalling, has already built a little CS advantage here in that top lane, and over across the board it actually looks quite equal here so far, as Arctarius takes a bit of a bad trade here, gets tagged by a tower shot, and yeah, gets just bullied out here by Golden God, and now has to take another recall while his teleport is still on cooldown, and Xamax here deciding to go for an early Drake attempt, even though their mid laner is in base. Resh will now find out about this as the death sentence there misses, but they decide to let them have it and not go for a contest here, but rather focus on farming up here and catching those waves.
Yeah, that's good for Xamax that they can the Drake, but if I see it correctly, the bot lane might just be frozen for Lostic, and that's a lot that the bot lane from Xamax is missing right there. Yeah, but as I look at it now again, it doesn't really look frozen, so it's not that bad.
Yeah. The question of the day for you, is an Ashe lane always frozen?
You might need to ask the Avarosas about this.
I am very sorry, dear viewers. This will happen on this stream.
Yeah,
from time to time. Chef can tell you about it.
Yeah, I should be already prepared for stuff like this, but I'm not.
Absolutely.
And is, oh my god, he's 2 level ahead, and that's no way Kivako gets out of
that. Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on spiders. As Kivako looking pretty bad there, because that's the thing I wanted to mention earlier with that Drake take. Yeah, it's nice to have an early Inferno Drake, especially like well, it's never too good in the early game because the stats it provides are just quite minuscule, to be honest. And the Elise with that Dragon take voids a lot of her potential early pressure. I mean, top lane was already under pressure.
Is going in. Goldie is now under pressure. Arctarius is going for that solo kill. And clean, perfect execution. That's the kill for Arctarius. That's the first kill for Xamax. Nice job there.
Holding true to his name there. He decides to push out the wave now and looking to crash it here. Nice
step sentence. And Xanilios is trying to cover up for Novalis who got hooked. But now Punchy just thinked level 6, so that's not really a possibility to fight back completely there.
Elise now making her way back into the mid lane there, and Arctarius is so low as Golden God with that TP back into the mid lane. Actually, it was bad that he got killed 1v1 here, but he has so much pressure already in the mid lane, building a 16 farm lead here at the moment, and even Kivako's Cocoon will not really be doing much there except cost him a ton of HP as he's down 2 levels here already and down 20 farm over that Hecarim. Curtain call here. Might seal the deal. Good play. Oh!
It's a 1-for-1 trade. That's really well played from Xamax that they at least got the 1-for-1 trade there. But Punchy's still able to push that, and he wants to push even further to search for Xanilos, but he won't fight him. But I mean, he didn't even get the kill. Resh took the kill, but he at least can get 2 platings, and that's even worth more than a kill. So that's really great, and Novalis loses another wave under turret. Now there is an Ashe arrow coming into the mid lane. He's hitting it. Arctarius is going in again with the perfect execution. Shuriken flip after it. The second perfect execution.
Flashing away.
Gets the kill, but now other people are coming. Resh is already there, gets hit by the cocoon. Arctarius wants to go further. Kivako tries also to support him, but they decide against the tower dive, and that's a kill for the Akali again. Meanwhile, Lostic took the Herald, but that's also a plating for Xamax in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, how to tilt your allied Thresh player in a nutshell. Flash away from the lantern, as Goldie just did there. And the lantern was being used, and he decided to flash the other way. That, of course, a bit of a miscommunication here, I feel. But as you mentioned, there's like so many platings that have already gone over to the side of Lostic here. 2 in the mid lane as well as in the bottom lane, and also 1 in the top lane for Luna, as the CS leads are just building and building. And just look at that massive difference currently in the jungle. Maybe we can have a quick look at the individual gold here anytime soon. Yeah, there we have it. It's like he nearly has double the gold, ladies and gentlemen. That's a 2k lead on that pony. And yeah, I mentioned it yesterday on stream when the Hecarim was picked as well. I feel like Heka can be a bit overrated to a certain extent because he relies so much on snowballing and that kind of greedy item choice in the Trinity Force. But if he's 3-0 that early into the game, that of course is completely nullified, and he's just gonna be a pain for the entirety of the game. And also in the bottom lane, like Punchy already has built quite a significant lead over Novalis. Herald goes down in mid lane. They open up the map super early here, as turret platings will still stand for another 2.5 minutes here. And now there's just little to no way here that Xamax will ever get another dragon here, as that middle turret has fallen so early.
And that's another kill for Lostic, but that's a full-blown team fight. Both teams are throwing everything at each other, and it's a 1-for-1 trade. Both supports are going down. Arctarius could go back in, but he decides otherwise. That's a 1-for-1 trade, but I mean, Lostic still got the mid lane first blood tower. They got all the platings there. They got the second Drake, and Looney is now going further. He wants that kill. He wants also kill participation. He got it, and Arctarius now has also needs to run away. Goldie can catch up. Or
one more
does
ball.
he? No, Arctarius is getting away. Goldie can't follow up. He has no flash available. But I mean, Lostic are chasing Xamax already around, and we see here the first blood turret taken. That was very well played rotation, and after that tower they can go to that Drake where they have full control.
Scumbags, Resh and Luna there coming in to also snag up some of that tower gold and being like, no, why should my jungler and mid lane have all of the fame here? I also want to talk in that, and then here, that's just a beautiful death sentence that seals the deal there for Xanilus. But they trade supports here, as Hedon has to ult out defensively. Good, perfect execution there coming out from Arctarius actually, but no further blood being shed as they trade 1-for-1. But of course, tower going over to the side of Lostic, and so does the dragon, and then Luna with a great play here. The arachnophobia is just non-existent here for Lostic. They just squish those spiders. They are certainly not afraid of that Elise, who, to be honest, is really weak at the current state of the game.
Yeah, she hasn't even completed her jungle item, so she really is far behind. But I mean, the Arnold was also very good placed in the last fight. He hit the 4-man knockup, so that was also a big part that Xamax was able to trade a kill back. But if we can go to the individual gold once more, it's really interesting to see that mid lane gold, where Arctarius is with 3 kills still gold behind.
Yeah, because Golden Gold has gotten so many platings, and of course also 3 assists to his name, and built quite a bit of a farm difference here. That more or less holds true for the entirety here of Lostic, as basically all their carries are up at the very least 20 farm here over their opposition. In the jungle it's even double that, and in the top lane it doesn't really matter that much, as you have a Lulu, and a lot of her value is of course in just her shieldings and that additional HP.
Yeah, that's a good flash from Punchy, and the perfect execution will be out for the potential Herald contest. I thought it's quite weird to put Jhin in that side lane against the Akali and not put Orianna there, but yeah, that's a flash, and now Hedon is going in, he's looking for the dash, and Novalis, good flash, he can force the flash from Goldie, but that's still a kill for Lostic, and now they can push in that mid lane. After that mid lane, they can go to the Herald or to that top lane And these are some good rotation Lustig is showing us.
Yeah, they're just doing a great job here of opening up the mid lane here early on. That gives them so much faster rotations here, as they can essentially funnel their entire team through the enemy jungle, of course, build up a lot of vision. While Punchy, he's just farming away in those side lanes. He's fine, just getting to his item spikes, already has the Infinity Edge completed here, and is now working on what will most likely be the rapid fire cannon here, as there we have a look at the gold, and basically all across the board it's the same story here. 500 gold lead at the very least on every single member from Lustig, nearly a 3k gold lead now on their jungler actually, and the overall gold being about 5.5k ahead here.
A little bit more after this tower, and the third Drake is spawning in not so short time, or in quite a short time, and Lustig is already in a position. Now they have Orianna on the opposite side of the map, where she is ready to teleport into a potential fight, otherwise she will just push that last outer turret, and Punchy is now already attacking that Cloud Drake. And that Cloud Soul would be very scary for a Hecarim.
Yeah, not only for the Hecarim, but I'd argue also the Orianna does really, really well with it, as she can just kite even more after a potential shockwave, or chase you down quite handily with consecutive command attacks. And I completely forgot the name. Command dissonance, of course. And yeah, also on the Lulu it can be impactful, as you of course get to position a lot easier. And Luna actually going with an interesting item choice here in the Lich Bane here as a second item, so he also wants to be doing some damage. And the Golden God is just showing us the strength of that Orianna pick here, as he's running down the enemy top laner here, but will now get a gauge upon.
That's a good CC chain, and Golden God is going down immediately. Kivako will pay with his life, and also Drawfan and Xanilos will go down for this. That's a free top lane turret and a Herald, or I mean not free. Goldie had to pay with his life for that, but that's a lot gained for Lustig from that play. It was a good attempt from Xamax, but they had to use too much to then take the fight when Lustig came to help out Goldie.
Yeah, Goldie was definitely overstaying there in top, but that is just the strength of taking down mid lane turrets so early into the game, because you are able to build up so much vision. You get that additional vision from just the minion waves pouring in through that mid lane, and then you're so much quicker on those rotation and can counter attempts like these here by Xamax. As yeah, as you said, the attempt by Xamax was good. They got the kill onto Golden God, but they had to pay with 3 kills on their own and had to invest quite a bit there with it. And yeah, Hecarim has now completed his Trinity Force as well, and it's just not gonna be a fun time here for the side of Xamax. And yeah, that's just a slaughter at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if Lulu is there with with its shields and the wild growth and everything, it's just so hard to deal like real damage to the opposition, to them. And I mean, Drawfan is not there to deal damage. Kivako is too far behind to be a real damage threat, and without Arctarius and Novalis there, it's just hard to get damage down. And that seems to be the next catch. Punchy
scary
tries to get Kivako. He can get out with that chilling smite and the movement speed he's getting, and that's another catch. Xamax tries to get another catch. Wild Growth denies the catch, and Drawfan is now in a real bad position. And also Xanilo is going down. And meanwhile, Novalis took down Goldie, but now Xanilo pays with his life.
Quarter kill. Can I get the penta here onto Punchy?
I don't think so, but I'm very interested to know what happened to Goldie and how Novalis was able to take him down there.
Yeah, absolutely. as it looked like a catch there, but Wild Growth, or rather Luna, says no. Uses the Wild Growth there onto him, and yeah, just makes this spider look even sadder than she already is. And just look at the level difference. This is absolutely nuts. Hidon is level 13. He's a higher level than his mid laner, while Elise is still level 9.
Yeah, that was really a good try, but Kivako is so fast, and then they are looking for the catch. They are looking for that CC chain.
Luna's like, damn, I'm
And
boned. And then he's like, nah.
It was so close. It was like he was like at 100 HP, and then he gets
Look at
out
the bottom
of
side. Oh yeah, there's an enchanted crystal arrow plus Arctarius also using the perfect execution and basically just doing Akali things to Golden God there.
Yeah.
Who yeah, decided to go with the Magic Pen boots here instead of the Mercury Treads that we often see come out, especially against like a pick comp like yeah, the one of Xamax here. As yeah, do you want to play-by-play that pony?
He runs in and
people
kills.
die.
Yeah, I mean Novalis is also already hard life just from Hedon's charge and punch. He can finish that off. Droffen tries to kite it out, but I don't think he really will get out. Goldie
There's no tower.
Oh god, that's. I mean, he would survive for so long. Ornn is so tanky, but against 3 heavy damage dealer, you have no chance.
Punchy's like doing the full chat ADC gameplay here. Just farming in side lanes for like 20 minutes, then getting a quadra kill, getting another double on top of that, and now he's just 7-0.
And he has so much farm. He has already 2.5 items. He's super duper strong, and that's already the second inhibitor turret going down. Now they are going for the second inhib. Nicely sidestep. And Arctarius is already very, very low. He tries to go in with the perfect execution again, gets a kill, but that's a 1-for-1 trade once more, and I don't think that Xamax can hold this any longer. Arctarius is by far their strongest member, and if he only can trade 1-for-1, that's quite a bad sign. And Droffen and Xanilo needs to try and defend this, but Punchy
Who
is
needs
going
towers?
Nice. Punchy can get the kill. The first Nexus tower is already going down, and Droffen is super tanky, but he can't really clear the waves. He can't really hold them off. Punchy now will start to go on that tower. But they decide otherwise because Arctarius and Novalis are spawning quite soon. But I mean, the base of Xamax is already in shambles.
Yeah. Like oftentimes we see the Hecarims go for the Trinity Force first, but then often we also see them maybe to like upgrade their jungle item to like at least stage 1, so you have like access to the chilling or challenging smite, or then even like just finishing the Cinder Hulk as a second item because it's just such a cost efficient item. But in this game he doesn't see any need for it, and he went straight for the Death Dance. That of course makes him so damn tanky, as with all the damage that he is dealing, he will of course just heal up incredibly fast as well. And another Call of the Forge God there.
Yeah, it hits on Goldie once more. Arctarius is going in. He wants to get Goldie once more. Nice shockwave to deny Arctarius' engage, and now there is the counter engage. Hedon is chasing down Arctarius. He can get it, and Droffen once more is the only one left between 5 members of Lustig, and they can ignore that tower completely, and now they are going for the finish. Novalis is the only one left, but he needs to stay in base, and Punchy even tried to get him with the curtain call, but that's unlikely that he will get the kill. Resh is even diving the fountain.
Going full
wants to have some fun.
Hedon doing some honorary rounds around the Nexus there, claims the 50 gold there to end it all, and in 25 minutes the first game of the night here has concluded 26-7, and that was a quite convincing show that Lustig displayed here in that first game. And yeah, pretty one-sided, I'd say. Arcturius, he did his very best to make.
Arcturius had some real good showings.
Yeah.
I mean, I think 2 times he was getting a solo kill on Goldie. Surely Oriana isn't the strongest early game champion, that needs to be said, but still it's not easy to get 2 solo kills on, I mean, the highest ranking Swiss player, so respects for that, and he really was the only one with quite some power behind him. The rest of his team fell behind quite far, especially that Elise didn't work out at all for Xamax.
Well, I mean, he was basically the only one who had the winning matchup in this draft. I'd argue, and the rest of them was just relying on the Elise. And let's be honest, Elise was just an absolutely non-factor in this game.
I mean, Ashe is a pretty strong lane champion.
Yeah, she can be very, very strong, but into something like a Thresh, Jhin, she's not that good, and they can be very equal. As you have a beautiful look at our client here. Thank you very much. No, we actually want to show you some highlight from
that was our highlight.
That was our highlight. Sorry, no more.
No, we are trying once more, and we will look at this highlight. This was the first 2v2 fight. Kivako tried to go in really far, but
I'll be honest, I don't really get why they went for this, because it was after an invade here from the Elise, where he clearly saw that the Hecarim is there.
Yeah.
And they knew he's there. He has both his buffs, and he was still rather healthy. And there's just no way that with Elise you win this 2v2, I think.
Yeah, and this was, I think, the first solo kill, very well played from Arcturius.
Just busted.
Yeah, I mean, Akali is such a strong 1v1er. And this was, I think, the dive where they managed to get the 1-for-1 trade after that curtain call. Novalis sidestepping the second and the third and the fourth shot, and Xanilos getting that Thresh to overextend and to die under the terror. And
this was nice,
Enchanted Crystal Arrow was very good. I mean, yeah, that wasn't really a solo kill from Arcturius, right?
Doesn't count.
I counted it.
And then we saw the lantern there a little bit in the corner that he flashed away from. Bit of a misplay there, of course, but in the end, like, it's not really going to matter, because the Oriana, she's still gonna scale up, and at this point they're just using her as bait. Also in this scenario here, good Enchanted Crystal Arrow there once again, but yeah. And he still dies to the red buff, and then they just take them down for a 3v1. And here once again, it's like at some point, you know, when there's like a spider invasion in your house, at the beginning you're annoyed, but once you get rid of it, it's like you might find another spider the one or the other day, and then you just smack it with your hand and go on with your life and pretend like nothing was there. And that was just the destiny here for that Elise. That was just another really one-sided kind of team fight here. And here, I didn't actually realize that Arcturius actually came very close to taking down Punchy here before he got his quadra kill there. And then after that, it was just, I guess, more of the same.
Yeah, I mean, both teams had found somebody they could pick on. Lostic found that Elise that they could pick on, and Xamax found that Oriana they could pick on. But the Oriana just didn't fall behind enough, and the Elise...
Oriana can still farm.
Yeah.
If there's like... Elise is not the kind of champion who just like draws back to her jungle and just farms up, because that's not how you're gonna make the Elise work. You're really relying to making that impact early on with your cocoon and those high impact dives. And then at this point, it was just like the wallets of Lostic were too heavy here to take them down. And Punchy's guns also being quite pumped in these fights. Plus also some big horse energy here.
He packed quite a punch.
Yeah. Wow. And some big horsepower here coming out from Hidon as well.
Yeah,
I mean, that pony was on fire.
This was just this was just great. They tried to get engaged, and they can't really get engaged.
I love
and
Hidon here, by the way. He's just like, let me get the blue buff first, then I come help you guys. It's like every one of my solo queue games.
And he just ignores the whole team fight. He's just seeing Arctarius with nothing left, and he's just using everything, running him down from such a distance. But
it's like I can still take the buff because I'm bloody damn fast. I'm a hacker, so I'll catch up to you guys. You guys go ahead. I need to work on my farm numbers.
Yeah,
it's important. It's important. That's CS per minute. That's where it's at.
I'm really interested.
You're very interesting.
Yeah, I'm also
that's
very
true.
interested.
Yeah.
Now I'm interested how Xamax is going to adapt, because I mean, it's obvious that this Elise pick didn't work out at all. And yeah, I hope they find somewhat of a solution in the jungle, but it's quite difficult task in such a series. And I mean, I was also very fascinated by Goldie, that he was able to stay ahead in gold even though he died 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, he overall, when you looked at the state of the lane, he always played like super well, and the deaths he had to suffer were mostly due to just like him playing the matchup as he should, like pushing the Akali in, because her wave clear isn't the greatest, especially early on, and then really capitalizing on those early like turret plates, which he's gotten like 2 or even 3 of, and then they got the mid lane turret with that Herald, of course, that of course also makes it risky for Golden God, because he still needs to get his farm somehow, and he cannot just wait underneath the tower, and that of course opens him up for those opportunities we saw with the enchanted crystal arrows, plus of course the Akali jumping in on top of him, and the Akali should be able to take him down. If that's not working, then nothing is working anymore, and it already looked like that quite a bit here. Like arguably he could have just gone for the Mercury threats and the Archangel staff, and then turned that into a Seraph's embrace, and he probably wouldn't have died ever again to that Akali. He decided to go for a bit of the more greedy route, the more bursty route, which is okay if your team is like turbo smurfing on them and you have a pony that's running wild over that enemy spider, and yeah, then I guess you can do it. Was certainly the weak point in this game here, but overall it didn't really matter too much. Question is, of course, can Xamax recover from this rather harsh loss, and can they identify what went well for them and where they should definitely adapt? But for more of that, we'll have to keep you posted until after the break. Get something nice to drink, wash your hands, and get some nice snacks, and then we'll see you right back.
You know.
They can try, but can do it like Vinny. Yeah, no permission. I got it.
das gute Gefühl, wenn du bereit bist. Schon bereit, immer noch bereit. Bereit. Bereit aufzustehen. Den Mut zusammen zu nehmen und
Fest daran zu glauben.
weil heute ist dein Tag.
Mein erster Schultag.
Bereit, sich zu beweisen.
Ich kann das.
Bereit für den nächsten Schritt. Für neue Projekte. Und die Möglichkeiten von der vernetzten Welt.
Darum reden wir mit unseren Kunden nicht einfach über Technik, sondern sagen ihnen, was sie davon haben.
Darum sind wir da oben,
Auch in einem Bergdörfli?
mitten drinnen und auch da unten. Damit die Schweiz bereit ist. Damit Sie bereit sind. Bereit fürs Leben.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.esogaming.com.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
And we're back here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and of course everyone in between and outside, to yet another night here full of League of Legends action in the Swisscom Heroleague, powered by ESL. My name is Don Rigoni, and tonight, once again, with me is the one and only Chef here with all of his 3 Fs.
Yeah, don't miss out on the other twos.
Yes, it's important.
Yeah, exciting game 1.
Yep.
I hope.
Little one-sided, I'd argue.
Yeah, it was one-sided, but I still think Samax was showing us some good efforts in these picks that they went for. And there were some very good CC chains, and I especially think that Arctarius and Novalis played some fights quite good together.
Yeah, they had good coordination.
Yeah.
And also good agency when it came to those flanks, and just getting the opportunities where they could. Of course, they were in a state where they were already quite behind, so that makes it a lot tougher, of course. But overall, it looked that they were pretty much on the same page, much unlike their jungler, who was a big detriment, I feel.
I mean, if an Elise falls behind, she is just in a very bad spot.
That is why she's not picked, by the way.
I think if this Elise wouldn't have been so far behind, and also if that Hecarim wouldn't have been so far ahead, this game could have looked quite different if these first 2 kills wouldn't have gone to the Hecarim, or
Sure.
I mean, if they wouldn't have happened, that would have looked quite different if that Elise would have gotten her jungle item upgraded without any troubles. It could have been quite another game.
Just imagine that scenario with like an Evelyn instead of that Elise. Then you could also fall behind. That Hecarim could still be 3-0, but you could always just run back to your jungle, clear those camps super fast, and then in one game just like taunt and flash onto the enemy carry and one-shot them with your last embrace, last caress. Not entirely
Last
sure.
Caress.
Last caress, and just take them out of the fight. You get 300 gold. You might trade your life for it, but you've been behind anyways, and then you're suddenly looking at a very much more equal footing potentially as we're heading into draft phase for game number 2 here between Lostic and Xamax Esports, and it looks like they have learned their lesson here, banning out the Hecarim right away on the side of Xamax.
No, and Lostic is still banning out that Warwick. Maybe they are going for the same bans. I think that was Poppy and...
Last one was...
I'm not sure either right now.
Little blackout there. Nevertheless, they this time seem to want to fully target the jungle champion pool here by Hedon, as that Graves will also be banned away. And I'm quite curious now whether we're going to... Yeah, it's gonna be that Yordle being banned away again. And then third, maybe the Nita ban, which I think we saw in the first game. Not 100% sure anymore. But there's still plenty of those carry options left available, of
I
course.
really would like to see a Lilia. I think it's just such
Shen
an
again.
exciting champion. And yeah, Shen was also in the first game. It's the exact same bans. No, I mean Lostic can still ban one more. I'm not sure. Hecarim got replaced as a ban for Nidalee, I guess.
Yes, I think so too.
And the last ban from Lostic will be locked in some seconds. It is the Akali, which Arcturius showed quite some proficiency on that pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes a lot of sense here. As they opt in for the Lucian
the Lucian was banned.
True.
That was what's missing. So that's the ban that we changed up, and now we see it in the game.
Yeah, and Xamax, they're picking it up there. Probably going on to Arcturius, but it can, of course, also be flexed into the top lane. Don't play Lucian in the bot lane. Really, don't. You don't want that.
I mean, it is possible. And
everything is possible. You can also play a Soraka Sona bot lane. It's possible, but it's probably not the smartest.
I mean, it was possible.
It was, yeah.
It was
a beautiful meta.
Luxona was...
Yeah, we had some intense bot lane matches. I mean, that was just insane. As this time, it is going to be the Thresh with the Kalista here, as Punchy wants to make a bit of a more of a dent here this time, by the looks of it, and not just be farming for the first 18-19 minutes and then start taking place in those fights and just dealing out headshots left, right, and center. As we see the Ashe there coming out yet again for the side of Xamax, and into that Thresh, I could really see a Morgana here possibly coming out for the side of Xamax. I mean, for me, if the Worlds meta will be similar to like what we've seen in the playoffs, I think there will be a lot of priority on Morgana personally, because
we
it's
see
so
the
good.
Braum.
That's a free spot lane.
Spot lane gives me the chills.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I can go. I can come down to your level.
Nice. I'm not all alone anymore. As we have the second round of. We still have one pick left open and Lostic. Hedon's like, okay, let me show you how you play this spider.
I mean, Lostic has already such a strong early game.
Yeah.
I mean, Kalista is such a lame bully, and also Elise. We talked about it already last draft.
This is a bit of a BM move, honestly, here.
I mean, it fit. an Elise is strong paired with a Callista.
Yeah.
I like it more in this
but he
draft
could
than in
still,
the
like
last
he could
draft.
still go for like Lilia, and it would be completely fine.
No, but Lilia is not by far not that strong in the early game.
Yeah, not in the
Like-
early game, but she's nuts in the mid to late game.
Yeah, but it seems like Lustig might want to opt in a very early game focused game.
Of course, yeah.
And I mean, that's really, really interesting to see how Xamax is now responding to that. Lustig seems to ban out quite some team fight heavy junglers
Yeah.
and top laners.
Yeah, as the Jarvan there is being taken away by them, as well as the Malphite there, so no rock solid plays, at least not in the literal sense here this game, as Syndra and now the Camille are also being taken away. Not fully on board with the Camille ban, as this draft here by Lustig indicates that they want to go like super early game, and then you usually don't want to play a Camille. The LeBlanc here makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I think Goldie wants to have a little bit more impact in the early game,
And a
as
bit
he
more
was
fun.
picked on quite a lot, and with this tricky assassin in LeBlanc, she has quite a lot of damage, but also quite some tricky tools up her sleeves to also escape some situations.
Yeah, and I mean this is like the full throwing in the gauntlet draft here coming out from Lustig. They have like Prio in the bot lane here already between that Thresh and Kalista. Elise, of course, being the embodiment of like an early impact and aggressive jungler. You have LeBlanc, who's just an excellent blind pick, and then you still have a counter pick open for the top lane into what will seemingly be the Wukong here. And by the looks of it, that could just just go full aggro. There's only one direction, and it's forward. No, please go with the Kled.
I mean,
okay, it's like
an
it's
AP or a magic dealer makes a lot of sense into Wukong because he gets so much armor. But I guess they decide for the Gnar. Gnar is also a pick that I think is getting quite interesting.
Yeah.
As his ultimate cooldown is getting very, very low with some cooldown reduction, and
it's like non-existent.
Yeah,
I mean,
he can just
like level
use
16,
it every time he transforms. He can use his Gnar, and
Which I think is important, because Gnar is probably the hardest champion to play around, because you are so reliant on... Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's a top laner, so you play around teleport. Then you also have his Gnar bar, where you also have to play around. And like just that multitude of connections and all these pieces that have to fall into place for like a potential team fight. And then also like your opponents should be cooperating to a certain extent and be in the right place to actually make use of that. As it's like this game. I'm curious how Xamax will be playing this here, because they don't have any priority lane.
I now have a question for you.
Yes.
What happens when Sejuani, Ashe, and Braum jump on somebody? Does he just freeze over, or?
Yeah, probably. I mean, but I guess Hell will certainly freeze over before Xamax is able to win laning phase with those champions. Okay, that was a try hard attempt. I'm sorry about that one. As we actually get a little teaser here, I like it. Championship Le Bon is already unlocked here on the tournament realm by the looks of it. Is she live yet on the live client? I haven't logged in.
Is she
today.
announced yet?
Yes, she is. Yeah. Championship Le Bon is announced.
I've just seen the teasers up.
That was
until
you mean the Victorious skin?
Ah,
I think that's
yeah,
Lucian,
the Victorious.
actually.
Yeah, the Victorious is looking more like Illusion.
Yeah, which I think is, I'm kind of disappointed. Like, I get that he made some waves this season, but why not Aphelios? Aphelios is like,
because
is season 10.
Aphelios is now just nerfed into the gutters. I mean, he got so many consecutive nerfs. Nobody wants to touch him anymore.
Senna would also be great for
yeah,
the
but also
skin.
she's also getting nerfs. I'm not sure if she's even in the right spot yet, or if they're gonna nerf her even more.
I mean, she's still very strong. She got nerfed again last patch. That is very true to her soul drop rate, but just her kit overall being so strong, of course, makes her such a contested pick. As we are getting ready here to slowly jump onto the rift here. Yeah, I'm like so far I'm still like all the eggs here for Xamax are basically in the Lucian basket. They need the Lucian to really get ahead here, and I'm personally very curious. I always like tell this to my players, like especially in a matchup like that. A lot of people like to buy Mana Mune on Lucian, and yes, it's a very strong item, and I agree that it scales well. But if you want early impact, it's not the item to go for, even if it's super cost efficient.
That is true, yes, but it's just so disgusting to see a culling one-shotting somebody
That is
with
true.
that mana mune.
But I mean, that usually happens around like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And if you look at the draft coming out for Lostic here, the game could very well be over at 20 minutes. So there's no culling to be had. And yeah, I rather see him go for like, he probably will need something something like a Hex Drinker, because otherwise he's just gonna get blown out the waters before he even gets to do anything. We're heading into the rift now. Xamax is looking for some potential early game action here.
Xanilos showed himself there on the Spiderling that Hedon threw out, and now Hedon even places a ward, so that potential invade will be spotted. They even saw the ward, they pinged it. So
Ping's going down there for Lostic.
They are going back, and Lostic seems to maybe want to go for a cheese. Now they are just placing an early ward. And Luna is now in the bot lane again. Oh, we see a player swap.
Here's my prediction.
I want just to get quickly on that player swap. We have Enkol Hawker now in top lane.
Yeah.
So
actually, they actually swapped players in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely. And Luna is now in the support role here. That completely slipped my attention there. But here's my prediction. Elise will do the red buff, look for a gank in top lane at level 2, and then they will get the Gnar ahead and be looking for a potential bot lane early teleport featuring Fnatic.
That would be very, very exciting and very, very possible. I mean,
and very, very over potentially for Xamax.
Yeah, could be.
I'm sounding so negative here. I'm aware.
Especially as Kivako is not thinking about that and jungling from bot to top, but it looks like Hedon is not going for that level 2 gank in the top lane. I think he will try to put on some pressure in this mid and bot lane. I mean, the LeBlanc has such a great gank set up with her chain. And Luna getting a nice death sentence. And the exhaust.
Oh my gosh! Can we get the help? Or that was, what was it, like 2 HP?
Yeah, I mean, that was super close. And I don't get why Novalis exhausted Looney. I guess that was a misclick, but that was quite an impactful misclick.
Yeah, and I think Luna didn't use the igniter because he did not expect Novalis to get that low, I guess. But that was nearly first blood there, and Novalis had to recall. 2.5 minutes into the game, Punchy already getting his first turret blading here as Hedon now makes his way to the bot lane. They will try to set up a dive here and
maybe they're
probably
going
onto
on
the Ash.
Oh no.
And there's the death sentence. There's the Gargoyle.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. I feel so bad.
Yeah, that's so bad. But this dive is okay. They are playing it well and they can get the kill. But Golden God is dying in the mid lane. It's 1-for-1 trade for both these teams obviously. But the lane state is a little bit better for Goldie, so he wins out a little bit from that 1-for-1 trade.
I think their bot lane needs to shower after this one. I mean, look at this. They're already ahead by 1.5k. Kalista has upgraded boots. Ashe has, well, a refillable potion.
Yeah, I mean, she had to recall on level 1, and then when
Then
she came
died
back, she
again.
died on level 1 still.
Yes.
So that's very, very painful.
Hidon is going back to the bottom lane once again
I mean,
here.
Looney has still flash up Hidon as well. Oh my god.
Oh!
But Luna is smurfing is hardcore. These death sentences, they cannot miss.
Well, if your target can't see you, it's like, and the flash. No, he still has flash.
Yeah, he still has flash after 2 kills.
Yeah.
This tower
Well,
dive
3 kills.
was a little bit sketchy as Punchy took the aggro there, but then as Hidon finally gets the aggro, they can just...
Hidon's like, I got this, boys. I'll get the aggro. Let's rise up to the skies and drop it again. And,
oh no, are they setting up a freeze?
I think so.
Oh no, Novalis really is like, no,
This is
get me out of
disgusting.
this game. I mean, it's so disgusting. They punish
Somebody
so hard.
call the courts of human rights here, please, because that's illegal what Lostic is doing to them here.
Yeah, I mean, Novalis.
But Novalis, he still has flash, so maybe he can avoid his third death.
But look at this wave. They can just keep the wave here forever.
Yep.
And Kivako, he tries to help, but I mean...
Don't gank lost lanes, mate. Just don't.
I mean,
okay.
You
and
have
another solo kill there going down in the middle lane. As LeBlanc is slowly but surely taking over this mid lane matchup here. Taking down the cannon there, and Arcturius will lose quite a bit to that tower now.
Novalis, yeah, he can't just dance there because he can't even step up for the experience.
It's a good soundtrack.
You can all press F for Novalis in the chat because this man...
Now we really need a hashtag justice for Xamax here.
Oh no, Novalis gets flashed on. He has exhaust back up, but Punchy can just cleanse it away, and that's the third kill on Novalis. Xanilos will never not survive this, and oh my god, Lostic just
Novalis is level 3, ladies and gentlemen. He's level 3.
That's just. You just want to remake that game. If you're in a scrim like that, you just...
It's like, okay, it's over, go next.
Can we just restart the game? Because that's... I mean, you can't really come back from that. Novalis has 15 farm while Punchy is nearly at 50.
For our viewers who had trouble understanding my point earlier about the Elise, this is the contrast. This now is how you should pull off Elise. In the first game we had an example of how rather not to do it.
Surely Sejuani can take the red buff, but the same happens on the other side. And Arcturius, he now has also quite a bad lane state. Goldie goes in.
Chains connecting.
And yeah, that's what happens. Oh, Kivako is now level 6. He wants to go in for Goldie. Drawfan is also there. And Hidon, oh, well played from him.
Wow, Hidon.
Nice sidestep, and he will most likely get out from this.
Yeah.
Kivako still wants
He be
to
done with this fight.
And Goldie is just, I guess, pretty happy that they didn't go for him, because he was also in a quite bad place. And another death sentence. Luna is just popping off on the Thresh. Honestly, is showing us quite some stellar support gameplay.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Oh no, oh no.
There's
No,
still
no,
a
no,
block.
no, no. Don't go for that dive again. And Novalis is fourth death. Xanilo probably also dialing. Punchy is now 5-0. That's what a Kalista can do to a lane. If you can play Kalista, she is so massively lane dominant. And I'm pretty sure I'm losing my co-caster. He's losing his sanity, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I really think so. This is, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's usually my job here to give some context and tactical insight. But I really can shake the feeling that that's kind of hard to do in the current game state.
It is a great showing of tactical gameplay from Lostic.
I don't want to encourage bullying, you know. We're on a live stream here. We want to like educate people and create positive content.
And oh my God, we see again engage in the bot lane. And Navali, oh no, oh.
It just he hasn't found the emote wheel yet. I think that's a little unfortunate.
Yeah, that would have been a perfect moment for the ZB.
We relegated. I've just been updated by production. We relegated bot lane kills to the picture-in-picture frame now. As it's not a repetition. It's always a new one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a way to use the culling.
Yeah.
I mean, he tried to predict the jump back on that distortion, but Goldie was just reacting to it and saying, no, we don't. And Kivako now tries to get the Herald, but there is a cold Hoka, and he is smashing Kivako around. Kivako deals no damage to that Gnar, and that looked quite nice how Gnar was jumping in there frozen.
By the way, I'm not quite sure. My Danish isn't really on point, and I'm not really sure what the top laner's name really means. But I don't think it's PG-13. Just wanted to throw that out there. One thing I'd also like to stress is just have a look at this point.
Hedon, stop.
Hedon's level 7. Novalis just does not care. He had released presses the exhaust here. Xanilos is mad. He's like, okay.
Yeah, Hedon has no flash. Hedon will die for this.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what are you gonna do with an Ashe that hit level 5 because she got experience while she was dead?
There's Looney. Connecting his hook onto a level 4 support with his 7-0, now 8-0 AD carry. While Golden God takes another kill in the mid lane onto Arcturius. Double kill there going over for Punchy, is now 9-0 in 11 minutes. That's we're closing in on 2 kills per minute here.
He has more than double of his gold. He has nearly as much unspent gold as the other AD carry has in total.
We should put him. We should have allowed Samira for this game, honestly, because there you at least have the option to donate some gold over to your opponent, even if it's just 1 gold at a time. But honestly, it would make a difference at this point, I think.
But Drawfan is going in. He gets Gnar quite low, but he can't go for the kill. And now the first blood turret has fallen in that bot lane. And if we now look at the gold once more,
look at the first item that Golden God upgraded. No, it was not the Ludenseko. He went for the Magi Soul Stealer right away. He's like, nah, I don't need that active. Who needs 20% CDR when you can start stacking that Magi's and just keep styling on his mid lane opposition?
No, that's really bullying. Novalis now has at least enchanted Crystal Arrow. He hits it. And Hedon...
Yeah, he hits him with his Caulfield's Warhammer.
But Hedon may have overstepped once more. The calling is tickling him a little bit. Now he hits some shots and Arcturius wants to go for the kill, but Gnar TPs in and Goldie goes for the kill on Novalis. He survives the first time, but Gnar now gets the kill. Gnar is quite deep into that. Hedon is now going in. Lucian gets the kill, but I think that's all over now. Maybe Hedon is really low and Goldie tries to get Arcturius. He can get him with the auto attack, and Sanilo now is in a quite bad spot. I'm pretty sure he won't get out of that. And that's a double kill for Goldie.
Yeah. And 20 stacks on his Magi's now. So, yeah, that, well, it's harsh.
But, I mean, that's Lostic.
Probably the biggest CS lead in a bot lane I've seen in a long time.
But I think it's also important to point out how good Lostic is punishing the bot lane.
Absolutely.
Not
and how Kivako should definitely not be in the enemy jungle at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Kivako tries to get something while Hidon is bullying
He tries,
the bot
to
lane.
be fair, he tries to get Punchy his 10th kill. 10 kills is always nice. It's double digits. It's something nice to have. Then you can, of course, invade the enemy jungle.
And maybe Novalis is going for the 0-10 power spike, but I thought that's a Yasuo thing.
Yeah, I also... well, maybe it's like Season 11 it will be the 0 and 10 Ashe.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 0 and 9 now.
But yeah, I mean, Novalis died so often that he can't get experience. They are just... I guess Lustig's game plan was take a
choose, pick one, and that person is not going to play League of Legends this game.
But oh my god, also that damage from Goldie is already so damn high. And Lucian even went for that Muramana and...
Oh, there's a TP now. But right next to Hidon, he's he's onto it.
But Hidon
oh,
gets
wow,
solo
Hidon.
killed maybe. Yeah, Hidon is solo killed. Drawfang gets that solo kill. Meanwhile, Novalis died again, but I guess he doesn't really give gold anymore, so...
Oh. Well, yeah, okay. Golden Gold using the flash there for a good measure.
But
I mean,
that's
you can
still
never
a
be
lot
too
of
sure.
damage that Drawfang can put
Drawfang
back.
has a lot of damage, yeah. But I mean, I think we look at top lane like
Oh my
once or
god,
twice.
this death sentence! Always max range, that's just nasty.
That's not fair.
Like, Luna is just nasty on that pick, really.
Yeah.
Why didn't they put him on this pick in the first game?
Well, he wanted to play the Lulu maybe, and he felt more comfortable in it, and they were like, okay.
Do you think he's not comfortable on Thresh?
He is, but like he was like, okay, let's go for like the 5-head play, put the Lulu in top. I saw that in like Korean solo queue, and he really likes those enchanter supports as well. It's not just the Thresh. I mean, Luna in general is such a mechanically gifted player. One of the best, I'd argue, we have in Switzerland. And he just shows off his expertise in this one.
And this is an engage from Xamax, but I mean, they are tickling Gnar. I mean, they got him half-life, but Punchy is just there, and Punchy can scare away 3 people with his 2.5 items completed.
Yeah, it's a
oh
tough one.
my god! We show it even 2 times.
Can we production? Can we like blur that for the future? I don't think it's adequate anymore to show this kind of behavior.
And
here
Luna
on
is
a stream.
happening again. They are going in. They are diving the enemy base. And
Who needs towers? Who needs towers? Just go for KDA. Let's go, guys.
I'm
just jumping over the base walls there, taking the tower for good measure, and see. They're smart. They're not taking early inhibs because you should not do that. LS said so. Even if you're up 13k at 17 minutes, you do not take early inhibs.
They surely are from the Church of LS.
Yeah.
And
look at this.
I mean,
we should do a Luna compilation at this point.
Yeah, but Arcturus. Oh my God. He really thoughts and prayers for him.
Yes.
I don't think it's gonna help a lot.
Rip
but
that guy. But just like look at the overall levels. Xanilos is level 7. Golden God at this point, he's level 12. 5 level difference there between mid lane and support.
That was a good flash from Novalis, and now they could be caught. Lustig is in quite deep. Kivako is trying to chase him down, and they don't really have DPS right here. And Arcturius with the culling doesn't really have the right direction on it. And now Punch is coming. Punchy wants to clean up the fight,
and they're turning it around.
Oh my God! And nobody from Lustig died. Oh, never mind.
Oh well.
One person dies. Drawfan gets a second kill. Drawfan.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay.
But
Drawfan
I mean,
popping off.
Yeah.
Look, Gnar also built a Magi's. And so did Thresh.
Okay, that's quite BM.
It's a little BM.
But I guess in a game where it stands 6-34 at 80 minutes, you can do that.
Yeah. The cup finals on Saturday were even more one-sided, but this is also great fun here. By the way, at this point, like big shout out to our spectators who are sweating behind their screens to catch like everything.
Ooh, but now another engagement.
Oh, Punchy!
Good Gnar into the wall. Hiton tries to go in, but Punchy is too low to join that fight. And Drawfan tries to chase. The enchant crystal arrow was going very, very wide. Drawfan wants to chase even further. Kivako has no access to his ultimate yet, so they can't chase down Hiton. I mean,
it's a 1-for-1 overall.
Yeah, it was a 1-for-1 indeed, and that's the second Drake now going to be taken.
No, they're not going for Drake.
No. Oh no.
Kivako, what are you doing? You have no vision in your
But
jungler and no business of being there.
You're going over the wall and think you are safe, and there is another
Why should
fire.
you be safe? It's 36 and 7. You're not safe.
Okay, you're nowhere safe away from your fountain, I guess.
At this point, you should probably buy a blue trinket on jungle and just like ward every bush before entering.
Yeah, probably.
Or press FF. That's the other option you of course have. Drawfan of course is a little sad as he's pretty strong.
Luna missed the hook. I didn't see that yet.
That was a first.
And yeah, look at.
By the way, I love that within 20 minutes we've only seen one dragon going down. It's also something quite unusual.
Oh my god, Punchy with all these minions, he can
gosh.
reset, and the Gnar into the wall. Also the LeBlanc, and Kivako is going down. Xanilo will go down, but Drawfan deals so much damage, but he can 1v5 that. I mean, he got Punchy, but I guess he can't really do more than that. We see. Oh, there is the sad P. He found the
misses the hook.
And yeah, that will be the game for Lustig and the series. Oh god. And yeah.
Come on. Hit the
Lustig,
nexus.
don't draw that out. You showed us that
40
you were
kills
dominating.
is enough. We think.
Yeah.
Giant crystal arrow missing there.
I guess the minions will finish this. I'm not sure that Samax can defend that. And not
the Ashe also has a Magi's, by the way.
Oh my god.
So Elise has 3. Elise has 3 Magi's. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Magi's this game. 6 on the side of Lustig.
No.
3
8
on
even.
the 8?
Yeah. One
It's
on
5,
each
6,
member
7.
of
it's
Lustig.
8, yeah.
And
true.
2 more on
7
the
on Lustig, 3 of which on the Elise and 1 on the Ashe. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was for sure a very fun game.
Yes.
And for the earlier stages of the game, we saw some really good early game punishment from Lustig into that bot lane. That was, I mean, after that the game got somewhat memey, but in the early stages it was really some great punishments. And
yeah, they play it perfectly, and I think Novalis on that Ashe realized, like, okay, I guess they don't want me to play League of Legends, so I guess I won't. And yeah, then after that, I mean, this is so hard. Like we never talk about this too much, but doing this to a player, this tilts you like off the face of the earth.
Yeah,
when you're like walking back to lane already, you're level 1. Their enemy bot lane is like level 2, Kalista even 3, I think, at this point, and you just get killed after surviving really clutchly on like 2 HP, and you're like, oh damn, okay, this lane is probably over since I have to recall now and get back in, and then it's like, okay, I made my way all the way back to base, walk back, and then I just get first blooded underneath the tower, and their Kalista just suddenly is 2-0. What that does to your mind in a competitive setting, that's just so hard to recover from. And it's not like Lustig stopped. It's yeah.
No, they certainly did.
Goldie also got super ahead. Solo killed the Lucian over and over. And I mean, in the beginning, Lucian can do a little bit, I guess, against the LeBlanc, and with some aggressive auto attack traits, he can do something. But as soon as the LeBlanc gets level 3 and access to her ethereal change, chains, it becomes so much harder, and then he just kept dying over and over. And Sejuani also not really the ideal jungler who will help you in those kind of scenarios.
No, I mean, both times Xamax decided for, I guess, not a gank heavy and not very strong jungler, I guess. And it didn't really work out. But we will see some highlights now again. That was that insane hook. And
we say highlights, but the terminology here depends largely on which of the teams you are rooting for.
I mean, we can also call it ADC's 2K7, 2K20.
Absolutely. And then here, like, this was an equal trade here. I first thought here Arctarius might. Oh no, this was the second one after they traded 1-for-1.
Yeah.
And then after that, the lane is like over because it's two aggressive mid laners here. He loses like 1.5 waves there. And yeah, that's Kalista for you there. If you're ever wondering why she's considered a very strong early game ADC, this is largely the reason why. You can barely get away from her. And then here, Golden God.
Yeah. I mean,
just
it's not
lining it up here.
It's not hard to follow up onto that.
Nah, it's like it's. Some might argue it's actually cheap that he don't messed with that 1v1. But I think it's fair. In war and love, everything is allowed, and on Summoner Shift, I guess. And then at this point, yeah, Golden God, he was just incredible. And then, like Novalis, he sometimes had positions here where he could do something. And Golden God, yes, he was super extended, but mind you, that's like an Ashe, which was at this point, I think, level 6.
This flash
level
was
6
pretty
or
insane
so.
from Novalis.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, yeah, they are trying to chase. They are using everything, and they can kite so long that Punchy walks from mid lane down there and can
this
start
was a
cleaning it up.
5v3, and here with the hook from Luna, they just turn it around here. They have so much burst, the Elise cooldowns come back up, and then they just turn it around. Actually, Droffen here getting 2 kills was quite big, but at this point, I feel like it didn't really matter anymore, besides tilting Golden God a bit, that he's losing 10 of his hardly earned Magi.
That Gnar was also massive, but Punchy was already so low and also ignited, so he couldn't really heal up.
Yeah.
So that was quite overstaying, and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow was going very wide.
Yeah, they sent that to the Riot balance team, I think.
I mean, that wasn't really something to do with balance team. That was just way too much early punishment.
Yeah, but people like to complain and call out onto the Riot devs when it's actually just really good drafting and execution here coming out from Lostic, which yeah, we've memed plenty, especially in the second game here, about these games. But overall, like Lostic, they had a clear plan coming into this. They went full-on aggression. You might have realized top lane was not really a big factor in this second game. That's why we showed you so little of it. And they just. Yeah, that was just a beating they dealt to Xamax here in that second game, showing off how you can pull off a super aggressive early game jungler like the Elise, punishing them hard, never giving them an inch to recover or to breathe, and just rolling through. Yeah, of course, you don't need to buy 7 Magi's on your teams. That does not make a difference. But at this point, it doesn't really make a difference anymore. It was just them showing that they were the superior teams in this case, and I think it's the result of a 2-0 show reflects their performance here and their strength. And me personally, I'm very, very curious how they can maybe take this momentum forward into their next games, where they will be going up against Seven Blades Esports, and if they win that, make their way into the grand finals, who will, by the way, be taking place on the 11th of October at the Hero Fest in Bern. The other two finals, being Clash Royale and CSGO, those will take place on the 10th of October, and you guys at home can still win some tickets. We'll be hosting some giveaways on our social media channels, and for that, go ahead and follow us at ESL Swiss on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, if you want to give us any feedbacks or comments, especially about that second game, or your take on the whole Justice for Xamax debate. Let us know, also using the hashtag ESL Swiss, of course, so we can have a look at those. And yeah, that concludes it for the matches here, but we got something else coming up, and that will be a winner interview actually with the AD carry from Lostic in Punchy here. Our production is about to set that up, and we can hopefully soon hop into that. Do we have an update actually about the other match that is taking place currently? It doesn't appear so far.
Yeah, I'm quite interested to it was Lausanne versus Fragbox Gaming, but they are in the lower part of the bracket, so they will face Noetic. The winner of that match will face Noetic, and the other quarterfinal was Team Happy Feet versus Seven Blades, and Seven Blades won yesterday off stream. So Lostic will fight against Seven Blades. I'm not sure if next Thursday.
That will the lower bracket will be taking place on
Tuesday.
the 2nd of October, and on the 29th, being next Tuesday, you will be have the chance to see Lostic again. Going up as the against the aforementioned Seven Blades Esport. But now we're ready to head into the interview with our winners of tonight in Lostic, and there we have a mighty big manly bear, and I think a voice behind it, hopefully, and it should be Punchy.
Yo.
Good
Hello,
evening,
hello.
good sir. Can you hear us?
You? Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, he's a little low on the volume. Maybe we can turn that up a little bit. How are you doing, Punchy?
I'm doing very great.
Did you have fun?
Of course.
Why did your Magi's come in so late?
I don't know, late game scaling.
Oh yeah, true.
For my Kalista W ratios are really big. On
that's
AP, I guess.
So how do you feel after taking this win? You are, I guess, so we can say a newly formed team here, playing under the banner of Lostic. How did you come together in the first place?
Well, we created this lineup in order to win the whole thing, so anything else will be a big disappointment. And yeah, we just, me and Luna played together for a long time, so it was pretty easy fit. And we just asked Golden God, so we won't have any big concurrence. And then we just got two good import players. Yeah. So yeah, just aiming for the win.
So you didn't want Golden God to face you in the bot lane?
Yeah, I think it's more way the other round. He was too scared of me and Luna.
Oh, even that's quite an interesting point.
Is it also a bit of a feeling of revenge? If I'm not mistaken, you were previously on the roster for Silent Gaming, I think, where you made it to the finals, but then had to take the loss against Postfinance Helix. Is this like your chance at redemption?
Yeah, well, I want Goldie to win as well, so I can't really do much about him not winning.
You can bench him.
Yeah, but I want to win as well, so that's not really the play to go for, I think. So yeah, we lost back then in the days. We lost against them, but yeah, now they are not really that many good teams, I think. So yeah, should be a free dub for us if Goldie plays for us. And yeah.
Did it take a lot for you to convince Goldie to play mid lane instead of AD carry?
No. I think we asked him to play AD if he wants to, but it's fine for him because it's like he used to be a mid lane man anyway, and it's his second role. So for Swiss niveau, it's like, anyways, he doesn't need to be better than he is already. It's like way above the bar, anyways.
Yeah. So maybe also get us a little bit of an insight into like your preparation going into this game 1 and then also game 2. What did you think about the draft? How did you prepare coming into this, and what did you have planned?
So game one draft was really normal, I guess. We just banned out their one tricks. Yeah, I mean, that's what we did. They had like a Warwick one trick and stuff like that. And game one draft was pretty normal, I'd say. And I mean, in first game, I realized that enemy bot lane, they were playing really passive. Maybe they are like nervous or something, but they didn't play the matchup as they should, in my opinion. So it was really easy for me to punish them. And in second game, we just picked Thresh Kalista because it's one of the easiest lanes to play in early game because it's so strong.
Yep.
And we were able to stack any wave, just stack it and then dive on the stacked wave gem. And then we could, after the first dive, I don't know why Ash didn't buy any items. She just got dove again, and then we just proxy
she
farmed
was
her
level
because
1. She had no gold. She had 3 CS. There was no items to buy, I think.
I mean, she didn't buy a Doran's Blade level 1.
Oh, I didn't even catch that one.
And I don't know why, but also she would have died on level 1 if we exhaust. It's fine. I mean, but afterwards she can't play the game anymore because we just proxy farmed them S3.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a very unfortunate situation. You can't really do much there as AD.
we felt with her. It was like
yeah, well.
That was really some great early game punishment.
Yeah.
And
you should take a shower after that, by the way.
That's too dirty.
Yeah. But overall, great play from you guys and great punishment as well, and executing that. What was the decision to actually swap players between game 1 and 2?
The reason was that our top lane was still working, so he came home a bit later, so we had to play with a sub for game 1. Yeah, but yeah, overall I think like this. I mean, game 1 was fine. Resh did very well, but I think it's a bit. I mean, me and Luna are way stronger duo because we play with each other for such a long time. So yeah, that's a wrap.
Yeah. Maybe to get this a bit to a conclusion here. What are your you said you're aiming to win it all, but what's like your thinking process going into semifinals for the upcoming week, and then if it all goes to plan, also for the grand finals?
Well, I don't know who are playing in semis, but
it's
when I checked the bracket earlier. Okay, well I don't know them. I can't say much about them. But I hope that I don't know how the result went in the other bracket, but I hope we play against Lausanne so I can smash Django, and yeah, that would be pretty fun.
Yeah,
but I don't know much about the team we're playing in semis, and yeah, I just know that on the other side of the bracket there's Lausanne playing, and I know a few players from Fragbox, but besides that, I don't know a lot of the players.
Well, we haven't gotten any results in yet from that pairing, I don't think. But in case Lausanne makes that one, they still have to make their way past Noetic, who yesterday looked quite strong actually, and also seemed to have some really nice drafts prepared. So I guess they'd also have a great shot here at the title, or at least at the grand finals. Maybe what is like your takes outside of your team? What are like players you regard highly, or that you're like not scared of, but that you respect a lot in terms of not only their skill set but also like their experience and their decision making?
I mean, from my team, it's obviously Golden God from the scene, and I mean, I'd say from other teams, from the players I know, probably Django, and like I think all the Lausanne players, almost all of them. I don't know the support, but I know Django, Moto, the jungler, and the top laner. So I would really like to play against them, and I also know a few of the Noetic players. But I think with a few target bans there, you can do a lot of damage.
Absolutely. Any questions from your side to add in?
No, I think you can enjoy your victory and start preparing for your semifinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you very much for the interview.
Any last words from your side or shoutouts?
Thank you. No, not really. Thanks to our imports for playing with us.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks to you for all your open answers. I hope we'll get you back in here after your next game, and then maybe even on webcam. We'll see about that. But until then, celebrate your victory. Have a nice evening, and see you soon.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Bye bye. Yeah, very insightful interview.
Yeah. Confident.
Yeah, for sure, confidence.
Say that again, please.
And Lausanne just won the first game. Okay. They didn't complete their best of 3 yet, but they are in the lead. So maybe Lausanne will face Lustig in the final. It's the first possible point in the bracket they could match up against each other, but we can now look at the bracket so you all see that as well. And yeah, as you see, we had up until now only 2 zeros in the quarterfinals, even though, as I just said, Lausanne and Fraxbox are still going at it. And in the semis we will see Lustig against 7 Blades, and Noetic is probably still watching and hoping, or I mean just observing what opponent they will get served.
Yep, absolutely. As we'll be possibly looking at another. Oh well, we'll for sure be looking at another Romandie duel here in the lower bracket. Well, we always say the lower bracket, just the lower half. There is like no reason we seeded, no particular reason we seeded them there, of course. And as I mentioned previously, next week on Tuesday we have some more League of Legends here with the semifinals coming up. That will be first of all between Lustig and 7 Blades on that mentioned Tuesday, and then on Friday, 2nd of October, we'll be seeing Noetic against whoever will win between Fragbox and Lausanne. If you also want to keep up to date with the results of that pairing, of course, as well as following all our other titles, make sure you head over to Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Drop us a like at ESL Swiss. There you find everything and can also share some feedbacks or inputs or whatever you like with us. And if you also want to catch our other streams, we'll be live again next Monday with the second round of playoffs in Clash Royale, where we'll be seeing Dutchim going up against Kefran and Senpai Rekt against Sailor, who will play for their entrance into the grand finals. And then on Wednesday we also have the semi-finals in CSGO being casted by our lovely colleagues Remo, Kairos, Spirits and John, of course, and I think you can look forward to that. This was it from our side. Chef to my left, my name's been Don Rigoni. Thank you very, very much for all the people who joined in. I was told we had quite a big viewership. We hope to see you back next week, and until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and goodbye.
Have a good night.
Das gute Gefühl, wenn du bereit bist. Schon bereit, immer noch bereit. Bereit. Bereit aufzustehen. Den Mut zusammenzunehmen und
fest zu glauben.
weil heute ist dein Tag.
Mein erster Schultag.
Bereit, sich zu beweisen.
Ich kann das.
Bereit für den nächsten Schritt. Für neue Projekte. Und die Möglichkeiten der vernetzten Welt.
Darum reden wir mit unseren Kunden nicht einfach über Technik, sondern sagen ihnen, was sie davon haben.
Darum sind wir da oben.
Auch in einem Bergdörfli?
Mitten drinnen und auch da unten. Damit die Schweiz bereit ist. Damit Sie bereit sind. Bereit fürs Leben.
You love it? You wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
La sensation d'être prêt. Déjà prêt, toujours prêt. Prêt? Prêt à se lever, à prendre son courage à deux mains et...
Croire dur comme fer.
Aujourd'hui, c'est ton jour.
Mon premier jour d'école.
Prêt à relever le défi.
Ça, j'arrive.
Prêt pour la prochaine étape. Pour de nouveaux projets et pour les possibilités d'un monde connecté.
C'est pour ça qu'avec nos clients, on ne parle pas que de technique. On leur dit aussi ce qu'elle leur apporte.
Parce que nous sommes là-haut,
Jusqu'aux villages les plus reculés,
à tous les niveaux et tout en bas, pour que la Suisse soit prête. Pour que vous soyez prêts. Prêts pour la vie.
Came from the darkest regions, wrapped in a cloak of light. Minus the focus heights, I'm trying to get my opens right. Throw my doubts aside, I climb the mountainside. And when I reach the peak, the view I see will not be fly. Feel the pressure, but it's relative to the man I measured. No time for hesitation, finally time to step up. And when you're feeling deep in your bones and it's on you're fed up, you're close to the glass ceiling. Keep your head up, see your dreams as a goal. That's how I'm seeing mine, achieve my full potential. Let all of the demons pre my shine.
You ready? Huh? Hey, easy boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Book a plane, fly away. We will never be the same. And as long as you are mine, come on and run away. We wanna run away. We don't need any reasons, baby. Leave it all for the faded hearts. I don't mind if they call us crazy, 'cause they don't understand what we're after. We never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. on searching, but we will never know what we're after. We're no kids no more. I need to feel alive in this dreadful town. I'm running out of time, and as long as you're mine, I wanna run away. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under beach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after.
Damn, you know I got